What is VO2 max for anybody that doesn't know?
Your maximum ability to bring in and utilize oxygen. Cardiovascular fitness, if you want to think about it like that. When you compare leg strength in those same studies, depending on the studies, it's comparable, if not higher of a predictor than the VO2 max.
Can't I just think about that when I get older? Because a lot of people, you know, I'm 30 years old.
Great question. You can. You're welcome to. But here's what happens. We know that VO2 max will drop something like 1% per year after the age of around 40 to 45-ish, right? Now, you can ameliorate or attenuate a lot of that.
Sorry, it will drop automatically?
Yeah, with aging.
Okay.
For sure.
Regardless of what I mean, obviously my work will go against it.
Yes.
But if left alone, it kind of drops itself.
Not even if left alone. We actually did a study years ago in Stockholm, Sweden, where we ran VO2 max tests on cross-country skiers. And these people were world champions in the 1940s and 50s. And they were still competing in 2010. So they're on year 50, 55, 60 of continuous training and competing. It's really, really cool to get these people in there. Like, again, you're studs in the 1950s and they haven't stopped competing. And we compared them to age-matched individuals in back here in the States. Now, all these people were over 80. Some of them were up to 92 years old. And we ran their VO2 max tests. And there's a bunch of fun stuff we did there. But when you look at the VO2 max, our group average was something like 35, 38 milliliters per kilogram per minute. Those people, we didn't have their data from the 1940s. But if you're going to win a world championship in cross-country skiing, you're probably going to be in the 80s or 90s for your VO2 max. So they were way up there in the 80s or 90s, presumably when they were in their 20s and 30s. We're down to the mid-30s, 50 years later. But people their age that don't train, typically on average, VO2 max is about 20. So it is way higher with training. The slope, in terms of the decrease, can really be blunted, but it will still go down. You'll never see an 80-year-old who can outrun a 30-year-old if they're equivalently like trained and talented, right? So it goes down. The same thing will happen with muscle strength and muscle size.